Are you a particular person that gets pleasure from completing a game where the difficulty is a maximum level? Well then, Ruination might just be the game for you. It requires pixel-perfect jumps made with a keyboard in a way that will have you restarting over and over and over and over and over. First things first, I find it impossible not to talk about a game's price when it's only $1. I hate judging a piece of art based on some monetary value that it's imagined to have. But for budget games, I feel like they're trying to reach a certain demographic, so it's important to mention and consider when playing. So, going in, I didn't have too many expectations, and because of that, the game surpassed them. If you don't know this about me, I have some of those tendencies to keep trying to perfect a run or get past a particularly difficult section. It's a rush to complete something not many other people have. However, I know my limits, and I will give up eventually. In Ruination, you don't have to worry about that too much. While there are several game areas, caves, depths, and core, each one has very short levels, and if you fail, you can restart them from the beginning of the level. Very generous. Let's take a look at this menu real quick. You can see the 3 different areas here. Then you can see the different levels that are available. And then from there, you pick your starting weapon. You can find more in the level, but this is the one you start with, probably the one you want to keep. If you're at your best, then a level could probably be completed in a minute or less. But that would be a pretty tall order. The game is difficult and requires some trial and error when determining the perfect way through a level. For example, if you make a jump with or without the dash, you'll have to try that. So you'll die to some spikes and have to restart the level over. If that sounds terrible, this ain't the game for you. Going slow in Ruination is okay. There's no timekeeping. It feels a little strange for the game type. So expect a slower experience your first couple times through a level, until, the 100th time through when you're a pro at the first part but keep dying on the last jump. Again, if that sounds terrible, this ain't the game for you. There are no leaderboards, and as I said, the game doesn't track time, so hopefully you can find fun in competing against yourself, or just trying to finish the game, or trying to get the 0 death achievements. Another mechanic I have to mention are the weapons. There are 7 in total, and it's all the standards you would expect. The starting laser pistol is a basic one-shot, but you quickly find a sniper rifle and a machine gun. Once you have a gun, you can start a level with it, which is pretty nice. I prefer the sniper for a few reasons. First, one shot, one kill makes it pretty quick, and I don't have to keep track of my cursor too much. Also, it has minimal screen shake. I was feeling a little ill getting a handle on all the screen shake with the initial weapon, but the machine gun, good God, there really needs to be a setting so you can turn it down. There's no feasible way to play the game with that much shake. I cannot imagine how anyone enjoys it. Also keep in mind that since bullets come out the end of the gun, and enemies can get in closer than that, you can't shoot an enemy that's right on top of you. I understand why this happens, but I don't think it's very fair to the player. Anyway, you must play with a keyboard. There's some really strange camera movement when playing with a controller. The camera feels like it kind of gets stuck, or it just goes to look in the wrong place. And you can't have a controller plugged in either, or else the game defaults to it. That's always confusing for the first few minutes of play. One other complaint I have is how Ruination dumps you back to the main menu after you die. A quick restart would go a long way. I've spent a lot of time now getting back to a level. There must be some way to add a quick restart with the same weapon. I don't care. Just please add that. Overall, Ruination is fine. Maybe you're only looking for a limited amount of pain, then Ruination would be perfect for that. It's pretty short and can provide you with the suffering you're looking for. It's a very simple, difficult platformer that, for the price of entry, does a good job at what it sets out to accomplish. They have to add that quick restart though. Come on.
Hey, thanks for watching this review. Hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe for more indie game content.